Good morning. Too late today, so somewhat disturbances from clients continuously, and due to climate, I went to sleep. See, conducting cases of property offences, particularly 379, 380, 392, 397, murder bargain, 394, 396. Lot of problems because always nobody knows that known person would commit all these offences. Practically unknown persons, sometimes known persons also by mask or pretending some impersonations offences would have committed. These cases, particularly identification period, fingerprint experts put prints and detection of hair at the scene, modus operandi, and identification of property alleged to have been stolen or looted or imported after recovery. And practically everybody knows that always the properties are recovered, not 100%. Some persons are being used for expenses. This is what happened. That is also resulting fabrication, tainting, and implanting witnesses. A best judgment of the Supreme Court, a grave case wherein lot of discussion was there about how this identification of properties, recoveries, fingerprints should be conducted by the investigating officer has been elicited in this judgment. AR 2019, Supreme Court 544, Kanubai Bhagavam Boy Nayak versus State of Gujarat, 386, appeal against conviction. This case was, no, I am sorry, I have read wrong judgment. I am very sorry. AR 2019, Supreme Court 546, Ashish Jain versus Mikrant Singh and another. Evidence Act 27, then Section 9, last in theory, Article 136, discretionary jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, Identification of Prisoners Act 1920, Section 4 and 5, most important the aspect was discussed in this case. Penal Code 302, 34, 394, 449, then MP Dacoity and Vyaparam Prabhavit Kshetra Adhiniyam, Arms Act 54, Evidence Act 27, 25 1BA, Section 3 of Evidence Act, all has been discussed. So, the deceased history of the case. The deceased Premchand, occupation of money lending and pawning gold and silver ornaments. Incident was on 5th January night. Accused person pretends of doing some electrical repair of the house, entered the house, committed the said murder and robbery. They locked the house from outside and fled. The appellant who were convicted where the appellant in criminal appeal is a complainant in Ashish Jain. Complainant Ashish Jain's nephew, deceased Premchand. The lower court seems to have convicted and the High Court has acquitted them. The ratio was, the first circumstances relied by the prosecution is last seen theory. They say some accused was carrying a bag containing electrical equipment. This was displayed. Next was uh, recovery of various articles based upon their statements. These all are the most important aspects. Then the High Court, while accusing the appellants, accused, said because the High Court is palpably erroneous, constitutes substantial miscarriage of justice, then only the Supreme Court can interfere. That was the ratio they have discussed. Then the PW20 is a chance witness, and we find that it has been held rightly so. Moreover, there are discrepancies and contradictions in the statement of PW20 in as much as his testimony asserts that for the first time he saw accused coming out of the house of the deceased. You go through the entirety of judgment, you can understand how the High Court interfered with the lower court conviction. I am not, you would have gone through several judgments. I am not on all those aspects which you have already covered. I am only particularly on that, the identification of recovered articles. That was discussed at paragraph 24. The non-examination of two important witnesses in light of recovery adversely affect the prosecution. They say the prosecution not established the weapons which were used for the commission of offence. Medical evidence indicates that the injuries were found on the bodies of deceased could have been caused with the weapons seized, could not have been caused with weapons seized, and the likelihood of causing present injuries are very slim, as all the injuries expected were laceration caused by the hard and blunt axe. Then about blood-stained clothes, they say even though the investigating officer on spot verified the every scene place, but he could not recover the articles and dresses. That was recovered only after 2 days. The main thing was the DIG of police inspected the place when these offences alleged to have been committed and reported, and only he has reported that probably the electricians are the persons who went to inside the shop must be the accused, and investigation was carried on only on that influence of scope. Therefore, the Supreme Court had discussed about paragraph 22, how the taking measurement of non-convict persons, power of magistrate to order person to be measured or photographed for identification period, and other judgments were discussed. Then they say taking photograph or measurement about the articles, how the photographs has to be taken. These all are the rules under Identification of Prisoners Act. That they say the absence of a magisterial order cast doubt on the credibility of fingerprint evidence. Fingerprint was also displeased. And packing and sealing of the tumblers on which fingerprints were allegedly found, given that the attesting witness were not independent witness, being the family member of the deceased. Thus, we cannot rule out possibility of tampering and post facto adding fingerprint. This is most important. Therefore, this inference, the total inference of the investigating officer was based upon the high-ranking officer who has interfered with the investigation, prejudiced the investigation. Therefore, they have confirmed the High Court judgment. So I am very hurried in reading the judgment, but you would have gone through a lot of cases. But this judgment, if you go through the entirety of judgment, you can know how to shake the identification of the properties and other materials, and also fingerprint experts. Kindly keep this judgment also on your file of records. enabling you to defend the cases of these natures. I hope the best.